Working 9 to 5, what a way to make a living.
When it comes to music legends, Dolly Parton is just about as iconic as it gets.
I look totally artificial, and I like to think that I'm totally real.
She wasn't just another blonde bombshell. She was a trailblazer, rewriting the rules of country music and becoming an inspiration for countless followers. Known for her unique blend of artificial glamour and genuine authenticity, Dolly's journey from humble beginnings to becoming a bedazzled star wasn't without its challenges. Behind the scenes, her rags to rhinestones journey has been a whirlwind of heartbreak, struggles, and triumphs. It all began on January 19, 1946 in Locust Ridge, Tennessee. Dolly Rebecca Parton was raised in a family of 12 kids. Her father worked as a tobacco farmer, and her mother stayed home to raise the children. Dolly and her siblings grew up very poor in this rural Appalachian town. Dolly's whole family lived together in a 2-room house. She shared a bed with 3 or 4 siblings every night. Recalling her difficult childhood, she said it was so cold in that house that they had to bundle up to go to bed. Dolly would later feature a picture of the cabin where she grew up on the cover of her 1973 album, Tennessee Mountain Time. For Dolly, hard work and tragedy began at an early age. She was the 4th oldest child in the family. Her mother would give the older siblings like Dolly the responsibility of taking care of the new babies that were born. Sadly, Dolly's baby, her younger brother Larry, passed away when he was a newborn. Dolly was only 9 years old. She said there was a lot of heartache for her when she lost her baby brother. A year later, Dolly began singing and playing the guitar on radio and Tennessee television shows. She had been exposed to Appalachian music since she was a baby. Her mother would sing old songs to Dolly and her brothers and sisters all the time while they were growing up. Dolly got started singing and performing in church before she made her way to television and radio. Dolly's uncle introduced her to the creators of a radio program and TV show called BAK's Walker Farm and Home Hour. Before long, she was a regular performer on the show. Just 3 years later, when Dolly was only 13 years old, she made her stage debut at the Grand Ole Opry. She was introduced to the stage by Johnny Cash. Her performance was very well received. The audience wanted 3 encores from this 13-year-old farmer's daughter. She made her way from rural Tennessee into the hearts of country music fans all over the country. This was the first of many performances over the years on the Grand Ole Opry stage. After she graduated high school, Dolly moved to Nashville to pursue her dreams of being a country music star. But times were tough. There were days when she could only afford to eat condiments for dinner. On her podcast, Dolly Parton's America, she joked about how she used to get creative and make soup out of ketchup and mustard packets. Dolly got her big break singing on the Porter Wagoner Show in 1967. She replaced the former star on the show, Norma Jean. Norma had a deeper voice compared to Dolly's more high-pitched vocal style. When she moved to Nashville, Dolly was focused on her career and had no intention of falling in love, but that all changed on her first day in Music City. As the story goes, Dolly met a man named Carl Dean at the Wishy Washy Laundromat in 1964. Carl was so supportive of Dolly's career aspirations. She married them 2 years after they met. They're still together to this day. Their marriage spans over 5 decades. Dean prefers solitude to the limelight. He rarely accompanies her to award shows and events. Dolly says that the secret to the lasting marriage is spending time apart. But it hasn't been a bed of roses all the time for Dolly. After having what she calls an affair of the heart with Burt Reynolds, Dolly struggled with severe depression. One day, she was having some pretty dark thoughts. She was on the verge of writing one final letter to her loved ones, but her dog Popeye rescued her. He ran up to her at the perfect moment. It was exactly what she needed. She began to pray, thanking God for sending Popeye to her as her spiritual messenger. Dolly Parton's career has spanned several decades. She's just as popular with the younger generations as she is with the older ones. Her podcast, Dolly Parton's America, was called the best podcast of 2019 by Forbes magazine. In her podcast, she shared that she's got hundreds, even thousands of songs for everyone to hear after she's gone from this world. She said there's enough music to go on forever. Dolly Parton is purposely putting songs down so that her music can live on in infamy. Hey, what is your favorite Dolly Parton song? Tell us in the comments. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like this video and subscribe to The Taco for more.